Hi there and welcome. My name is Nicole with morningchores.com, and today we're going to talk about a topic that's a little bit different but still in line with what we do here at Morning Chores, and that is how to live the sustainable lifestyle while you're still on vacation. We are in the middle of summer, and this is usually the time that people like to take vacations. And I always find it interesting, how can we be more sustainable, even take that homesteading lifestyle out on the road when we go on vacation, and also even be a little bit frugal minded. This is a great way to kind of bring home with you on the road, but also save some money too. The first tip I have has to do with water. There are all kinds of ideas and mindsets about water. Do you buy bottled water? Do you bring a filtration system? Or do you just drink what's on tap? And it really depends on your personal preference, your own convictions, and I do think it has a lot to do with how you were raised. In our family, we each have our own reusable water bottle that we each take with us wherever we go. So even if I'm running errands in town, going to the bank, the grocery store, the post office, we always have our water bottles filled up and ready to go with us. And I love the Clean Canteen brand because they have different sizes for all of my family members and they last a really long time. I have only had to replace one of mine because we lost it, but otherwise we've had all of the same original water bottles since I purchased them years ago. When it comes to vacation and water, it can be a little bit different, but buying bottled water does add up over time. I know a lot of us think that, oh, it's a small cost, it doesn't really cost that much, it's okay, and there are times when it might be necessary to buy bottled water, but I prefer to either take my own water with me or bring along a filtration system. Again, it has a lot to do with where you go. We've gone on vacation where we've stayed with family members in their home, and in those circumstances, we usually don't bring water with us. We'll just bring our reusable water bottles and fill them up whenever we go out on an adventure. Back in June, my daughter and I took a 2-day camping trip, and it was to a campground that I had never been to, so I wasn't really sure about the water situation. I wasn't sure if the campground was on city water or well water and what it tasted like. And because it was such a short trip, I was able to pack all the water that we needed for drinking, and that way it just made it kind of easy because I already had water on hand, but it turned out the water really wasn't that bad. But I went ahead and drank the water that I brought with me. So packing water in glass jars, especially if you're going on a road trip and you have your vehicle with you, is very easy and very handy. Of course, if you're flying somewhere and you can't really pack water, it's kind of difficult to do, and you're not really allowed to bring water or any liquids through security. So in those cases, I usually opt for my reusable water bottle and a filtration system depending on where I'm going. The next suggestion I wanted to share is in regards to food. How can we be more sustainable with our food while we're on vacation? I think the best way, and in my own personal experience, is bringing as much food with you as you can. Or if you can't bring food with you because you're flying, you can always go grocery shopping when you get there. So we always try to stay in a location that at least has a kitchen or maybe at least a mini fridge with a microwave and a fire pit or a grill. So that way I have some way of storing food and also keeping food cold. There have been times where we stay with family members, and in those cases I will go grocery shopping when I get to the destination, and I have done this when we've stayed at cabins as well. So it really just depends, but I do find that when I either pack most of our food or I go grocery shopping when I get to my destination, this saves a lot of money. And usually how I do it is I will purchase enough food to cover our breakfast, lunch, and snacks, and maybe one dinner. We personally like to eat out when we're on vacation because we like to try the local eateries in that area. It's just something fun that we enjoy doing. Plus, it gives me a break from cooking when we do eat out on vacation because at home, I'm making 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. So I don't really get much of a break at home. So going on vacation, it's kind of nice for me to have that little bit of a break. So there are families I know that bring all of their food with them, and we've done that in certain special situations. But for the most part, I try to just mainly cover those breakfast, lunch, and snacks. And this saves a lot of money, and it also makes it easier. You're not running around as much on vacation, which is what my husband and I prefer. We kind of prefer a more relaxed, chill vacation. not where we're going constantly. So this makes it kind of easier to do that. The third tip I have to discuss today is in regards to clothing. And I think the best tip I can do for clothing is take as little as possible, but take more of what's necessary. So I have found in my vacation experiences that having more shirts and undergarments is really necessary, but the other things like shorts, pants, skirts, dresses, those types of things I can rewear several times and usually get away with 2 or 3 times before I need to wash it. And if I do need to wash something, I usually bring a little container of soap just in case. That way I can get a stain out more easily or wash the whole garment and then hang it out to dry. And that's another way I like to be sustainable, is kind of do what I do at home while I'm on vacation. So I've been getting in the habit of hanging clothes outside to dry because it does save on electricity. You're using the sun. It gives me a little bit of fresh air and some time outside, which is good. So I just do the same thing when I'm on vacation. So this last vacation we took, I actually brought a clothesline with me because I knew we were going to be doing a lot of swimming, and a lot of times our towels and our bathing suits wouldn't dry out fast enough. So that clothesline was a lifesaver because I was able to just come back from the pool, get everyone's towels and swimsuits, hang them out to dry so they were at least mostly dry before we got back in the water. So I would highly recommend bringing less minimal clothes, but bringing more of the necessary items, so that way you're not having to keep track of so many items. Because I do find when I'm on vacation, the less individual items I have to keep track of, the less stressed I feel. I just feel when there's less to keep track of, then my mind is more at ease. So packing minimal but purposeful, and then also just bringing those sustainable habits along with you while you're on vacation. The fourth topic I wanted to discuss today on how to be more sustainable while we're on vacation is in regards to entertainment. And this is a big one because usually when we're going on vacation, we want to seek out whatever entertainment is offered in that area. So how can we be more sustainable or even frugal-minded in this department? I think the first suggestion is to seek out the free stuff. And this is something that my husband and I have turned more onto since we've had children. Just because when you have kids, things get more expensive. So what can we do for free? A lot of times museums offer free days or free afternoons. Also, a lot of entertainment options that are paid by taxpayer money are often free. When I went to Washington, D.C., most of the things that we did were free because it was paid for by the tax dollars. So doing things like that are oftentimes free. I've also found that sometimes when you purchase your tickets online versus at the gate or the door, they tend to be cheaper. So I always check now, are the tickets cheaper if I buy them through their website or if I buy them at the door? That's another great way to save money. Of course, you can always look for promo codes or coupons and different things like that. Those are always good options for cutting down on the cost of tickets. Another thing my husband and I do now when we go on vacation is we pick 1, maybe 2 things to splurge on, because if you're going to a very specific place, especially if it's somewhere that you're never going to get back to, this is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity, then of course we want to make the most of it. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend money, just spend it purposefully. So sometimes we'll pick 1, maybe 2 splurgy items that are more expensive, and those are the main things we do. And then everything else we do is more just chilled, relaxed, laid back, and free. And the other thing to remember is kids make their own fun. They don't need a bunch of entertainment and toys. You don't really have to spend a lot of money on them in order for them to be entertained. Just to give you an example, the last vacation we just took was a beach vacation, and I debated whether to bring pool toys and beach toys. Now I did bring sand toys from home, so we had some things to build sand castles, but I opted to not buy any pool toys because there also was a pool as well, because I thought about buying floaties and different fun things to play with in the pool, but I decided not to, and they really didn't need it. They made their own fun with their friends in the pool and in the beach. They didn't need any of those toys. They found their own way to make their own fun. So just remember that kids don't need a lot in order to be entertained. Oftentimes, if you just give them the time and the space, they'll come up with their own entertainment, and it's usually free. And the last suggestion I have in regards to being more sustainable while on vacation is it really is about a mindset. It's a lifestyle. It's something that you're already doing at home and you're just implementing it while you're on vacation. So for example, eating leftovers. There was one night while we were on vacation where we ordered pizza and we had way too much, so I just stuck it in the fridge and we ate it for lunch the next day. Or maybe sharing costs. Instead of buying everybody a dessert when you go out to eat, maybe buy 2 desserts and have everyone split it or share it with someone else. Finding joy in the simple, boring, mundane aspects of life. For example, go for a walk, whether it's around your yard, down the road, and then take that same activity and implement it while you're on vacation. Go for walks down the street, down the road, around where you're staying, or maybe go to a local park or go to a hiking trail and go for a walk. Just taking those simple everyday tasks and just finding joy in them and bringing that and implementing that while you're on vacation. Once this lifestyle and mindset is ingrained at home, it will be so easy to transfer it wherever you go on your vacation. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Something just a little bit different, but I thought it was perfect for the season that we're in. I hope you all find this motivating and encouraging, and I would love to hear in the comment section below, what do you guys do to be more sustainable or frugal while you're on vacation? You can also head over to morningchores.com where you'll find all kinds of articles on sustainability, gardening, homesteading, and much, much more. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you on the next one.